Hey everybody, Doug here from 2 Plus Tough, and I wanted to do something a little bit special today. I don't normally do like unboxing videos and that kind of stuff, but I had this that I recently got for my Slaves to Darkness project that I've been working on, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to just kind of crack open the box. Again, we know exactly what's in these kits. I'm not revealing anything new, but I thought it'd be a fun thing to do while we talk about the battalion that this is based off of, as well as kind of my thoughts of what I want these boxes to kind of provide as the Broken Realm series kind of goes on. And so with that out of the way, let's go to the downward game. Okay, so here we are. Again, this is not strictly about this box specifically, but it's just the one that I happen to own. I'll go ahead and take off the wrapper here. I tried to do it as not crinkle paperly as possible. And I will say, I was a bit surprised when they came out with these box sets because, we knew that Broken Realms was going to be a big thing. They had kind of pitched it that way as being like a large series. They were kind of dodgy about exactly what it meant for the setting and that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit interesting. But inside, what we are actually looking at is 3 different Chaos Chariots. And I dig that quite a bit. There's also I'm not sure why there's a base in there. So there's 3 bases, and then there's 3 dude bases. But honestly, I just got finished building one of these chariots, and I didn't have a need for that. I mean, I guess technically you can build one of the guys on, who's not riding a chariot, but why? I don't have a good answer for that one. So yeah, it's really not much to look at in terms of oohing and awing and that kind of stuff. But one thing I did actually want to see is, did they write better instructions? It looks like they did. Before they were using the old printed instructions. And I won't lie, they were pretty terrible. No, actually it looks kind of the same. Never mind. That's all right. Yeah, does it point out who should be standing around doing nothing? Like, who's the warrior you got just, chilling? No? Okay. Then it just goes into the War Scrolls. What's interesting is it doesn't have the actual battalion information. So let's go check that out. Now, the person this is trying to replicate is Rokar Gresh. If you are not familiar with him, during the events of Broken Realms Marathi, he became very important for a brief second. He is Archaon's guardian of the Varanthax's Maw, the giant mine where he's getting all this Varanite, which really seems to be the crux of what's going on in the story arc. And so he is an important person, but he didn't have a very large role in the story, which I never quite understood. I was excited for him, and then he's honestly in the story. I think he has 2 lines, and he's there for no time at all. What I'm hoping is that these sets, let me just throw this back out here, just to give us something to look at. These sets, there are 4 of them. I hope that they are, obviously I don't think these are going to be products that are on the shelves for forever. I don't think they're staples of Games Workshop right now, but I do hope that they are at least available throughout the entire Broken Realms saga, I guess. And the reason I say that is because I want them to be repeat characters like that. I want Rokar Gresh, even though he was introduced in the first book, to make an appearance in the next one, and so on. Because him and I think the named character version that you get for the, what do they call it, Idoneth Deepkin, they got shortchanged hard because there were cooler people from their faction also there fighting, and they got 2 lines each. That guy, he's not supposed to be the named character from the Deepkin, but he's just a lieutenant, and it's just he didn't do anything. So I'm hoping this means their characters will continue throughout the entire series, and you can hop on with Rokar and all those dudes. I want to talk about this battalion. Much has been said about this, but it's time for Doug's 2 cents. One thing I will tell you is that my Chaos faction is going to be, for the most part, idolaters. I have means to build other things, but as far as idolaters go, I just really like picking a fundamental part of the army and getting really good at it, and the fact that prayers get a +1, so everything works on a 2-up, And I don't know. I'm really into it. Like it quite a bit. So, yeah. I don't know. Also thematically. I'm sure if I'm going to an event or something like that, I'll probably run something different. But we have Gresh's Iron Reapers here. And so if you don't know how this works, essentially, you were given 3 chariot kits in this box. The Idolaters lets you turn one of them into a lord and a priest. Okay? You get 1 Chaos Chariot or Gorbeast Chariot. Unit with 1 model in your army to an Idolater Lord. If you do so, that unit gains the Idolater, Lord, Hero, and Priest keywords. So he gets supersized into a character. I like that quite a bit. And then going one step further, Gresh's Iron Reapers turns that hero into specifically the named character from the story. And it does make a little bit of a change to his war scroll, which actually, for Rokar Gresh in this battalion, you have to have 1 Idolater Lord, which will obviously be that guy, armed with a Chaos Great Blade and a Lashing Whip. Okay? My understanding is, let's see. Oh, that's in French. That's not going to help me. Yeah, so my understanding is that's basically telling you have to run him as a chariot, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, I'm wrong. So yeah, he can be either. He can be a Gorbeast chariot, or he can be a normal Chaos chariot. And then 2 Gorbeast chariot units, which in this case, if you buy the box, they're always units of 1. But nothing prevents me from owning more chariots and filling up the ranks of those units. Now, what I don't like about this, I'll be perfectly honest, I'm not a huge fan of the fact that it has to be Gorbeast chariots. There's nothing in the story that makes it that way. I don't understand that one. If someone can figure that out for me, leave it in the comments down below. I'd love to know the reasoning. I just know that, he's in a chariot, which is rad. That dude gets style points, 10,000%. But I don't know. I think if they had just let me choose all chariots, I would, the actual chariots being like the horse-pulled ones, not the Gorbeast, I think that would be way cooler, but that's just my opinion. All units from this battalion must have the Idolaters and Undivided keywords. That sucks. I'm not going to lie to you. The Idolater Lord from this battalion is unique. So we're going over the requirements. Those are some huge restrictions, just straight up. The fact that, ideally, I would probably do something like Slanesh or Khorne to really increase the chariot speed. Honestly, I like the horse-drawn chariots more because they can, once per game, run and charge. So, that's huge if you can get rerolling charges or something like that. I think it would be incredible. But the fact that you're now bound to Undivided, it does put a damper on some of the synergies that you can work with these guys. But, again, those are the costs. Let's talk about what he gets. Abilities. Oh, also, just to point out, if he is a unique name character, he's not going to be able to take, command traits, artifacts, that kind of stuff. Just throwing that out there. Abilities. Soul Butcher. The Chaos Great Blade used by the Idolater Lords from this battalion has an attack characteristic of 4 instead of 2. That's awesome. And a damage characteristic of D3 instead of 2. That's a kind of a mixed bag. I kind of like 2 damage things over D3, but okay. In addition, if the unmodified hit roll for an attack made with that weapon is 6, the attack inflicts D3 mortal wounds on the target and the attack sequence ends. I feel, personally, like it should have been in addition to, because you're already losing something by introducing the possibility of rolling a 1 on that D3. So you already have a position where you get more attacks, it can do less damage, and then the D3 mortal wounds, it ends the attack sequence. I just would have gotten rid of that. I think it should be on top of, but whatever. And then the command trait. If Rokar Gresh is your army's general, he must have this command trait instead of one from Battle Tome Slaves to Darkness. Profane Orator. At the start of the combat phase, you can pick 1 friendly Slaves to Darkness unit wholly within 18 inches of this general, add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by that unit you picked until the end of the phase. Now, that's not a bad one, right? I mean, add 1 to hit rolls. Honestly, there's a lot of re-rolls in Slaves to Darkness, but not a lot of flat modifiers. if it was +1 wound, we would have a totally different conversation, because there's actually several ways to buff and manipulate hit rolls for this faction, but the wound rolls is a lot of times where you lose things. So I think that change would have like flipped the script, but honestly, it probably wouldn't have. He takes away more than he provides, you know. They didn't give him a strong narrative presence, so I'm not taking him just because he was in the story. I mean, I feel like there were other way cooler characters. I love his job that he got from Archaon and the battle scene where he was in, but I didn't feel like he contributed to it. I feel like a lot of other characters made that stuff cool. He was just kind of like, hey guys, I'm here, and that was basically it. So, I don't know. Not a huge fan of that one. Probably not going to take it, but I am going to take the Idolaters, because I like it. I want a chariot lord. And so, like I said, there's not a lot to talk about when it comes to the Broken Realms box sets things. But here's what I'd like to see out of it, right? Obviously, I tend to be a chaos-focused guy in terms of the factions that I like. I want to see more of that, first of all. I do like the idea of these box sets. I would really love it if when Games Workshop is in, say, a chapter, like we just left the Soul Wars chapter, now we're in the Broken Realms, if there were very specific models that were reinforced characters that we could pick up and just add to our collection and play along with. Like, I like the idea of these boxes. I want them to be around and have the characters they represent be in the stories throughout the entire Broken Realms saga. And then when that's done, these boxes can go away because, again, they're just normal kits. And then we can get some new ones. They kind of did that with Malign Portents or Malign Sorcery. Every Grand Alliance got like a hero. That's where we got the Dark Oath Priestess or War Chieftain, whatever she is, the super badass lady coming down with an axe. The Lord Ordinator, I think, was that one. And then that was our first Night Haunt model. And the Gloomspite gets Wizard Guy. And all of those were incredible. But they were in the one supplement of Malign Portents, but they weren't anywhere else. And you're like, but what about these dudes, right? And so I think having, maybe this is an evolution of that idea, where it's like, okay, now we're going to have characters and we're going to kind of build around them. People want to have a little bit of a, you know, whether it's battalion, narrative flair, that kind of stuff. We'll build around them and we'll make that possible. I think that would be really, really awesome. Games Workshop, if you're listening, if you're not doing it for this series, you got to do it for the next one. I'm just saying. Like, people love that kind of stuff. I know I do. There's just tons of folks who's like, I picked up the Rokar Gresh box because I wanted to play Idolaters and have the option to do this named character dude from the stories. And I know that people are feeling that same way, specifically about Van Brecht, who is the Stormcast Eternal character. He also has one of those boxes. And that's what kind of makes me think that they're not going to go away. It's like, we know that he is not done in the Broken Realm story. Everybody else, sort of. Yeah, they could be, but the boxes haven't gone offline yet. And I just want to see them continue. So, friends, tell me your thoughts. Okay, so when it comes to the Broken Realms supplement stuff, I know I focused on the Chaos one. I just wanted to show off one of these boxes so that if you're thinking it has some like cool hidden thing in there, it doesn't. They really are just 3 kits mashed together in a new packaging, which is fine. But what would you like to see out of it in terms of like what these characters do? Do you continue their story? I don't think they need to be like staple products like Star Collecting boxes. They can have a shelf life and stop being created at some point. But I like the idea of starting with a cast of characters so that people, when they jump into the hobby, they can be like, oh, this is the ongoing story? I'll get that guy. I'll get Van Brecht. Why not? And I like that kind of stuff. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. And as it is the season, I want to say happy holidays to everybody. Stay safe out there. And I hope to see you at the beginning of the year. Thank you all so much for watching. Happy wargaming. Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed that video. It was made possible by the folks over here to the left. These are my top supporters over here on YouTube and on Patreon that keep this channel going. If you'd like to learn more about how to become a supporter and get some cool things in the process, like exclusive pictures and interactions with me and get your questions answered here on the channel, go ahead and click any of the links down below or the join button on the community page over on YouTube. Regardless of your choice, I wanted to thank you so much for joining me with this video, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Happy wargaming.